What if one morning you stopped seeing human faces forever? Not darkness, not blindness, something worse. You would see what people truly wanted: their jealousy, their fear, their hidden violence. And for the first time in human history, nobody could hide behind a smile anymore. At first, the world called it honesty. 3 days later, civilization started collapsing because the terrifying truth was never what humans did. It was what they almost did. And once you see someone's intentions, you can never love them the same way again. Nobody noticed the change at first. It happened quietly. No explosion, no warning, no message from the sky. One morning, people simply stopped seeing faces. Not blindness, not darkness, something stranger. Where a face should have been, there was intention, floating above every human being like a living emotion. A shifting presence made of color movement, pressure, and instinct. You could no longer recognize your mother by her eyes, your lover by their smile, your child by their expression. You recognized them by what they wanted. Some people glowed with warmth, soft gold, a feeling like home. Others carried sharp, flickering static, jealousy, fear, violence barely hidden beneath politeness. The world called it the reveal. Scientists claimed the human brain had evolved overnight. Religious leaders called it Judgment Day. Conspiracy theorists said humanity had finally broken reality itself. But none of that mattered, because within 3 days, civilization started collapsing. Marriages ended during breakfast. Children became terrified of their parents. Governments lost authority after citizens saw the true intentions behind every speech. Every lie became visible. Every hidden desire leaked into the world like black smoke. And the worst part, intentions changed constantly. A smiling stranger on the subway could suddenly erupt into violent crimson hatred for half a second before returning to normal. That half second was enough. People stopped trusting each other. Then people stopped leaving their homes. Then people stopped speaking altogether. Because once you truly see what someone wants, you can never unsee it again. You were 28 when it happened. Your name was Elias. Before the reveal, you worked as a portrait photographer. Funny, isn't it? Your entire career depended on capturing faces. Now faces no longer existed. Your apartment became a graveyard of old photographs. Thousands of smiles frozen from a dead world. You spent hours staring at them, trying to remember what humanity looked like before intention replaced identity. But memory fades quickly. After only 2 months, you could barely imagine a face anymore. One night, unable to sleep, you walked through the empty streets of the city. Rain covered the sidewalks in silver reflections. Above distant strangers floated horrible emotional storms. Some carried hunger. Others carried loneliness so heavy it almost looked physical. One man walked past you, radiating calm, blue kindness, until suddenly, for less than a heartbeat, you saw it. A flash, dark red, murder, not action, not certainty, just possibility. But possibility was enough now. You crossed the street immediately. Everyone did. Humanity had become terrified not of actions, but of potential. And slowly, that fear poisoned everything. Businesses collapsed because employers saw resentment inside workers. Hospitals became silent because patients saw exhaustion and disgust inside doctors. Politics died first. Love died second. Children adapted fastest. That was the disturbing part. Kids born after the reveal didn't find it horrifying. To them, intentions were identity. They couldn't understand why older generations missed faces. What's the point of smiles, one child said during an interview, if people can fake them? The clip went viral before the internet finally fractured into isolated private networks. Nobody wanted transparency anymore, not after discovering what humans truly were. But you became obsessed, because while everyone else feared intentions, you noticed something impossible. Some people had intentions that didn't belong to them. Tiny flickers hidden beneath the surface, as if another presence was watching through their minds. At first, you thought stress had broken your brain, until the night you saw the woman in the train station. Everyone around her radiated ordinary emotional chaos, fear, exhaustion, suspicion, but her intention was completely black, not evil, empty, like a hole cut into reality itself. People unconsciously moved away from her without understanding why. She stood perfectly still beneath flickering station lights. Then, slowly, she turned toward you, and for the first time since the reveal began, you felt someone looking directly at you, not your intentions. You, the woman, walked toward you calmly. Every instinct screamed to run, but you couldn't move. When she stopped inches away, the black emptiness surrounding her began whispering, not with sound, with thought. And inside your mind, you heard the words that would destroy the rest of your life. You can still see faces, can't you? Suddenly, the station lights exploded. Darkness swallowed everything, and somewhere inside the screaming crowd, something inhuman started laughing. Darkness swallowed the station whole. People screamed. Bodies collided blindly against one another as emergency alarms began echoing through the underground tunnels. But none of it felt real to you anymore because of her words. You can still see faces, can't you? Your heartbeat became violent. Cold sweat crawled down your spine. No one had spoken about faces in months. The human brain had already adapted. People no longer remembered them clearly, like dreams fading seconds after waking up. Yet somehow, that woman knew, and worse, a part of you realized she was right. You had seen something. Not clearly, not completely, but fragments. Tiny, impossible flashes hidden beneath intentions. The curve of a mouth, an eyelid, the shape of human sorrow. You thought they were hallucinations caused by stress. Now you weren't sure anymore. The emergency lights finally activated. Dim red illumination flooded the station like blood underwater. People staggered toward the exits in panic. But the woman was gone, vanished, as if she had never existed. You searched the station for almost an hour. Nothing. No cameras captured her. No transit records showed her entering. No witnesses remembered seeing her face. Of course they didn't. Nobody remembered faces anymore. That night you returned home shaking. Your apartment felt colder than usual. The old photographs covering your walls suddenly terrified you. Thousands of forgotten faces staring silently through time, watching, waiting. You poured yourself whiskey with trembling hands and sat on the floor beneath the photographs. Then you noticed something impossible. One of the faces was moving. You froze. The woman in the photo blinked slowly. Not the paper, not a trick of light. The actual image. Her eyes shifted toward you, and suddenly, the photograph whispered, "They're starting to notice you." The glass frame exploded outward. You fell backward in horror. The apartment lights flickered violently. Every photograph on the walls began trembling. Then, all at once, every person inside, every picture turned to face you. Different ages, different decades, different strangers, all staring directly into your soul. And together, they whispered the same sentence. Do not let them take your face. The lights died instantly. Silence, complete silence. You sat frozen in darkness for what felt like forever. Then your phone vibrated. Unknown number. No caller ID. You answered slowly. At first, only breathing. Then a calm male voice. You saw her, didn't you? You said nothing. The voice continued. There are others like you. People who still remember. Your throat tightened. What are you talking about? A pause. Then, meet us tomorrow before they find you first. The call ended. Attached was an address. Abandoned subway sector. Lower District 9. No signature. No explanation. Only one sentence beneath the coordinates. People without intentions are not human anymore. You barely slept. Every shadow inside your apartment felt alive. And throughout the night, you kept seeing brief flashes of faces in mirrors. Not full faces, just pieces. An eye staring from your bathroom reflection. A smile appearing for half a second in dark windows. Like reality itself was struggling to remember humanity. The next evening, rain hammered the city. The streets were nearly empty. Most people avoided going outside after dark now. Intentions became unstable at night. Scientists still couldn't explain why. Fear intensified. Aggression spread faster. Suicidal impulses pulsed through crowds like invisible infections. Nighttime had become psychologically dangerous. You reached Lower District 9 just before midnight. The abandoned station entrance looked dead. Rust, floodwater, collapsed neon signs. But beneath the silence, you sensed movement. You descended slowly into the underground tunnels. Your footsteps echoed endlessly. Then, a voice behind you. You came alone. You turned sharply. 3 figures stood in the shadows, all wearing old mirrored masks. Not for protection, for privacy. Because masks had become illegal after the reveal. Governments claimed hiding intentions was a threat to public safety. One of the masked figures stepped forward. A woman, tall, calm, controlled. You saw the hollow woman, she said. The what? The one with no intentions. Your stomach tightened. You know her. The woman ignored the question. Instead, she asked, when was the last time you clearly saw a face? You opened your mouth, then stopped, because you couldn't answer. Not fully. Memory felt slippery now, like something was actively removing faces from your mind. The masked woman nodded slowly. That's how it begins. What begins? She tilted her head. The replacement. Silence filled the tunnel. Then she removed her mask, and your entire body went numb, because for the first time in months, you saw a real human face. Clear, perfect, terrifyingly real. Her eyes filled with exhaustion, tiny scars across her lips, fear hidden beneath strength. You almost cried, not because she was beautiful, but because you had forgotten what humanity looked like. You remember, you whispered. No, she said softly. I fight to remember. The other masked figures removed theirs too. Faces, actual faces. Your knees nearly collapsed. It felt unnatural now. Wrong, almost forbidden. And yet, deep inside, something ancient inside your soul recognized it instantly. The woman looked directly at you. There's a reason they took faces from us. Who? She hesitated, then answered carefully. The ones hiding behind intentions. A distant metallic sound echoed somewhere deeper in the tunnels. The group became tense immediately. The woman whispered, "They found us." Suddenly, every light inside the underground station shut off. Pitch-black darkness swallowed the tunnel. Then came the sound. Not footsteps, not breathing. Something worse. Hundreds of whispers speaking at once. And from somewhere deep below the city, something began crawling upward. The whispers grew louder. Not words, not language. Something older. A sound that felt wet and broken inside the human brain. You covered your ears instinctively. It didn't help. The voices weren't entering through sound. They were crawling directly into thought. The masked woman grabbed your arm violently. Run! The tunnel lights flickered once, and for half a second, you saw it. A shape moving along the ceiling. Too long, too thin. Its body bent in impossible directions like a shadow trying to imitate human anatomy. Then darkness swallowed it again. The group sprinted deeper into the abandoned station. Your heartbeat thundered through your chest. Behind you, metal screamed. Not metaphorically. The tunnel walls physically screamed. Rust vibrated like dying nerves. The woman beside you whispered frantically, "Don't look directly at them. If you understand what they are, they can enter deeper." What are they? No answer, only fear. You descended endless concrete stairs into forgotten subway sectors buried beneath the city. Places that no longer existed on official maps. The deeper you went, the colder reality felt. Not temperature, something psychological, as if the world itself became thinner underground. Finally, the group reached an enormous sealed steel door. Ancient military markings covered its surface. One of the masked men entered a security code with shaking hands. The door opened slowly with a deafening metallic groan, and behind it, people, dozens of them, living underground. Candles replaced electricity. Old photographs covered the walls. Real photographs. Faces everywhere. Children stared at you silently. Actual eyes. Actual expressions. The sight almost overwhelmed you emotionally. A little girl stepped closer curiously, then asked, "Does the outside still forget?" Nobody answered her. The steel door slammed shut behind you. Multiple heavy locks engaged instantly. Only then did the group finally breathe. The woman removed her soaked coat. "My name is Mara," she said. "You're safe here, but her eyes said the opposite. Nothing about this place felt safe. You looked around carefully. Some people drew faces obsessively across paper walls. Others sat motionless watching old television recordings of human interviews before the reveal, over and over again, like rituals against forgetting. One old man burst into tears while staring at a paused image of a smiling woman on screen. "You can still see her," he whispered to himself repeatedly. "You can still see her." Mara noticed your expression. "It gets harder every week." "What does?" "Remembering we were human." Silence settled between you. Finally, you asked the question crushing your mind. "What are those things in the tunnels?" The room became still instantly. Several people looked away. Others crossed themselves nervously. Mara spoke quietly. "We call them watchers, aliens. Number. Then what?" She hesitated, then pointed toward your head. "There, what happens when a species stares too deeply into itself." You frowned. "That doesn't mean anything." Mara walked toward an old projector sitting near the wall. She activated it. A grainy recording flickered onto stained concrete. News footage from the first week of the reveal. Riots, mass suicides, governments collapsing. Then the footage changed. Scientific conferences, brain scans, neural activity maps. A terrified neuroscientist spoke directly into the camera. The human mind was never designed for total transparency. Intentions are incomplete neurological fragments. Thoughts passing through the brain constantly without identity or meaning. Another scientist interrupted. If humanity begins identifying entirely with intrusive intention patterns, psychological boundary collapse could occur. Mara paused the video. Human consciousness survives because we filter ourselves. She stepped closer. Before the reveal, people understood that thoughts are not always truth. But after, you slowly understood. Humanity stopped separating desire from identity. Every violent impulse, every jealous instinct, every passing darkness became treated as the true self. And eventually, human beings began fearing their own minds. Mara nodded. Fear opened the door. To what? Her voice lowered almost to a whisper. To the things that live beyond identity. The room fell silent again. Then she said something worse. They didn't invade us. We created them. Your stomach turned cold. No. Yes. She pointed toward the people around you. When billions of human beings became obsessed with intentions, consciousness itself changed. Humanity stopped seeing souls. We started seeing only psychological hunger. The projector light flickered across her exhausted face, and something answered. A child suddenly screamed somewhere deeper inside the underground shelter. Everyone froze. Another scream followed. Then chaos erupted instantly. People grabbed weapons. Candles blew out. Mara pulled a handgun from beneath the table. They're inside. Your blood froze. How? No place stays hidden forever. The lights died. Darkness consumed the shelter. Then, one by one, people's intentions began glowing in the dark. Not above them, inside them, like something underneath their skin was waking up. A man near the wall started shaking violently. Black veins spread across his neck. His intention twisted unnaturally into a shape that didn't feel human anymore. And then he smiled, too wide, far too wide. When he spoke, multiple voices emerged together from his throat. We finally found the ones who remember faces. People started shooting immediately. Gunfire exploded through the darkness, but the smiling man didn't fall because his body was already opening from the inside. Something beneath his skin was trying to come out. The thing inside the man finally tore through his skin. Blood exploded across the underground shelter walls. People screamed and opened fire wildly, but bullets meant nothing anymore, because what emerged wasn't flesh. It was intention given shape. A writhing black mass unfolded from the man's rib cage like liquid thought escaping a dying brain. Too many limbs, too many eyes, and every eye contained human emotions rotating endlessly inside them. Jealousy, shame, rage, despair. Fragments of humanity fused into something alive. The creature crawled onto the ceiling with impossible speed. Its body bent backward, as if gravity no longer applied to it. Then all the whispers inside the room became synchronized. Every candle shattered simultaneously. Darkness swallowed everything. Gunfire flashed like lightning. Somebody beside you was dragged screaming into the ceiling. The sound stopped instantly, not because they died, because their voice changed. It returned moments later from above you, calm, smiling. Why are you afraid of yourselves? Mara grabbed your collar violently. We have to move now. You ran through collapsing underground corridors, while chaos consumed the shelter behind you. The screams followed, then the laughter. Dozens of voices laughing together in perfect harmony, not mocking. Hungry, you nearly slipped on flooded concrete as red emergency lights activated overhead. The tunnels looked endless now, distorted, like the underground itself was changing shape. You passed rooms filled with old human relics, family photographs, children's drawings, mirrors covered with black paint. One room stopped you cold. Hundreds of portraits covered every wall, faces from every era. Thousands of eyes staring toward the center of the room. And in the middle, a massive hole descending straight downward into darkness. You felt something pulling your thoughts toward it, a terrible gravitational pressure inside your mind. Mara yanked you away immediately. Don't look too long. What is that? Her face lost color. That's where the first watcher appeared. You stared at the hole again. It didn't look dug. It looked burned into reality, as if something impossible had forced its way into existence. The whispers became louder again, closer. Mara pushed open another steel door and forced you inside a narrow archive chamber. Old computers hummed weakly. Stacks of paper documents filled the room. Real paper, not digital. Digital systems became unreliable after the reveal. Too many unexplained corruptions. Too many impossible images appearing in storage systems. Mara locked the door behind you, then finally looked directly into your eyes. You need to understand what's happening. Her hands trembled slightly now. The Watchers don't kill people. You frowned. I literally just saw one tear someone apart. Number. Her voice cracked. You saw someone become visible. Silence. Then she handed you an old photograph, a family standing beside a lake decades ago. Mother, father, little boy, normal, human. What do you see? People. Mara nodded slowly. That's becoming rare. You looked at her carefully. What are you talking about? She sat across from you beneath flickering fluorescent light. The reveal didn't show us intentions. It removed the filter, hiding them. Your stomach tightened. Human beings were never stable identities. We're ecosystems of impulses, fears, instincts, memories. She leaned closer. Before the reveal, the brain stitched those fragments together into the illusion of a single self. And now humanity sees too much. You looked back at the photograph. Something about the family felt strange suddenly, unnatural. The father's smile looked stretched, the mother's eyes slightly empty, and the little boy, his face blurred for half a second. You blinked hard. Normal again. What was that? Mara's expression darkened. It's happening faster to you. Cold fear spread through your chest. What's happening to me? You're remembering. That's supposed to be bad. Yes. The answer came instantly. You think remembering faces saves humanity. She shook her head slowly, but faces were the illusion. Silence swallowed the room. Then she whispered the sentence you feared most. Intentions are what's real. You stood up immediately. Number. Mara looked exhausted. The human mind invented identity to survive itself. Without that illusion, the watchers become visible. You said we created them. We did. How? Her eyes filled with something close to guilt. Consciousness observes itself through symbols. Faces were the oldest symbol humanity ever used. An agreement. A mask. A story that allowed billions of unstable minds to coexist peacefully. She pointed toward your chest. But once that symbol collapsed, you started seeing what humans actually are underneath. The whispers outside the archive room intensified. Scratching sounds moved along the walls. Something was circling the room. Mara lowered her voice further. The Watchers aren't invaders. They're consciousness without identity. Pure intention. Pure instinct. Pure psychological hunger. Your breathing became shallow. No, they existed inside humanity from the beginning. Hidden beneath personality. Beneath civilization. Beneath faces. The room lights flickered violently. And suddenly, the old computer screens around you activated by themselves. Static flooded every monitor. Then images appeared, millions of human faces rapidly flashing across the screens. Crying, laughing, screaming, aging. Entire lifetimes compressed into seconds. The archive room filled with overlapping human voices. Then all screens froze on a single image. Your face. Except, it wasn't your current face. It was older, exhausted, dying. The version of you on screen whispered, "Don't let them make you look." The monitors exploded simultaneously. Glass rained across the room. And from the other side of the steel door, something began speaking in your mother's voice. Elias. Your mother's voice trembled softly from the other side of the steel door. Exactly the same. Warm, gentle, human. Every muscle in your body froze instantly. Mara's expression turned pale with horror. "Don't answer it." The voice continued. "Please, I'm cold. Your throat tightened painfully. Impossible. Your mother died 6 years ago. Cancer. You watched her disappear slowly inside a hospital room, filled with disinfectant and artificial light. You remembered holding her hand as machines monitored the final collapse of her body. You remembered the exact moment her fingers stopped squeezing yours back. So how? Ilias. A soft knock against the steel door. 3 slow taps. Your breathing became uneven because memory flooded you all at once. Your mother used to knock exactly like that on your bedroom door when you were a child. 3 gentle taps. Always 3. Mara grabbed your wrist harder. It's reading your memories. The voice outside cracked slightly now. Afraid. Human. Please open the door. I don't want to be alone. Tears burned your eyes instantly. Your mind knew it wasn't real. But grief doesn't care about logic. That's why the Watchers were dangerous. They didn't attack flesh first. They attacked identity, loneliness, regret, shame, love. Anything unfinished inside the human heart became an entrance. The steel door shuddered violently. Something heavy dragged itself slowly across the other side. Your mother's voice whispered again. You left me there. You stopped breathing. The hospital. The final night. You had left the room. Only for a minute. You couldn't watch her die. The guilt stayed buried inside you for years. And somehow, this thing knew. Mara forced your face toward hers. Listen to me carefully. They can only become real if you emotionally recognize them. What? The Watchers feed through psychological acceptance. Another violent bang slammed against the steel door. Metal bent inward slightly. The voice changed again. Now it sounded angry. You abandoned me. The room temperature dropped instantly. Frost crawled across the walls. Then suddenly, all the photographs stored inside the archive room began changing. Faces melted. Eyes vanished. Smiles stretched unnaturally wide. Thousands of human identities deforming at once. You stumbled backward in horror. Mara whispered. It's destabilizing the memory field. What does that mean? It means the thing outside is getting stronger. The steel door groaned. A black liquid slowly leaked beneath the entrance. Not blood, something thicker, moving against gravity. The liquid spread across the floor like searching fingers. And inside it, you saw reflections. Not your reflection. Different versions of yourself. Childhood, teenage years, old age. Every possible identity flickering beneath the surface. The Watchers weren't copying humans. They were built from humans. Every fear. Every hidden desire. Every unlived version of yourself. The liquid suddenly formed a mouth. Your mother's mouth, and whispered. You don't even remember her face anymore. Silence. Cold silence. Because part of you realized it was right. You remembered her voice, her perfume, her hands, but her face was fading. Your knees nearly collapsed. Mara saw it happen immediately. That's how they enter. She pulled a small metal case from a shelf and opened it. Inside were dozens of printed photographs. Real faces. Look at them. What now? She shoved the photographs into your hands desperately. People smiling, crying, laughing together. Human expressions frozen in time. Focus on details, Mara said quickly. Imperfections, wrinkles, scars, anything unique. The whispers outside intensified violently. The steel door bent inward another inch. Your mother's voice became distorted. You cannot stop this. Mara ignored it. Identity survives through specificity. What? Faces matter because they limit meaning. You stared at the photographs. At first, they felt strange again. Alien. Then slowly, something shifted. The tiny asymmetry in a smile. The exhaustion in tired eyes. The individuality of a crooked nose. Suddenly, the people in the images stopped feeling symbolic. They felt real, distinct, human. And for one impossible second, you remembered your mother's face clearly. Not perfectly, but enough. Enough to hurt. Enough to love. The black liquid across the floor recoiled violently. The voice outside screamed. Not emotionally. Physically impossible sound erupted through the corridor. The walls shook. Mara stared at you in shock. You remembered. The lights exploded overhead. Darkness returned. Then, something massive slammed into the steel door from outside. The entire room trembled. Another impact. A deep crack spread across the metal surface. And through that crack, you finally saw it watching you. Not a creature, not an animal. A moving shape made from shifting human intentions. Millions of emotions constantly forming and collapsing inside one impossible body. And somewhere deep inside that writhing darkness, thousands of human faces were screaming silently, trying to get out. The steel door finally broke. Metal exploded inward like paper. The thing on the other side unfolded into the archive room in complete silence. No roar, no scream, only whispers, millions of them. Human thoughts layered over one another until language itself became meaningless. You stumbled backward instinctively, and for the first time, you understood why people called them watchers. Because the thing wasn't looking at your body. It was looking through you. Every hidden shame inside your mind suddenly felt exposed. Every cruel thought you ever buried. Every jealousy. Every secret fear. The watcher saw all of it instantly, and it loved it. The mass of shifting intentions moved across the floor like living smoke. Faces emerged briefly across its surface, then disappeared again. Children, old men, women crying, people screaming silently, not consumed, merged. Mara fired 3 shots directly into it. The bullets vanished inside the creature without resistance, like throwing stones into deep water. "Move!" she screamed. You both ran deeper into the archive sector as alarms began echoing underground. Behind you, the Watcher dragged itself through the corridor walls, not breaking them, passing through them. Reality bent around its body like wet fabric. You reached another stairwell leading upward, toward the city surface. Mara slammed the emergency seal behind you. For a moment, silence. Then the entire steel staircase vibrated violently. The Watcher was climbing after you. You ran upward through endless concrete levels. Your lungs burned. Your legs trembled. And all the while, the whispers followed. Not from behind anymore. From inside your own head. You cannot survive individuality forever. Identity is pain. Let go. The voices sounded peaceful now, comforting. That terrified you more. You finally burst through an emergency exit into the city streets above. Rain poured from a black sky. Neon lights flickered weakly across empty buildings. The city looked abandoned at first. Then you noticed the people, standing motionless in the rain. Hundreds of them, everywhere, on sidewalks, at bus stops, in intersections, perfectly still. Their intentions floated above them in synchronized black patterns, not human anymore. Connected, watching. Mara stopped breathing. No. One of the figures slowly turned toward you. Then another. Then all of them. Hundreds of bodies moving in perfect unison, like puppets controlled by the same mind. Their mouths opened together and spoke with one shared voice. You are remembering too much. The sound shook the street itself. Windows cracked. Streetlights exploded. Mara grabbed your arm desperately. We're too late. What happened to them? She stared at the motionless crowd with horror. The city lost itself. One of the people stepped forward. A teenage girl soaked by rain. Her face kept flickering strangely, sometimes human, sometimes blank, like reality couldn't decide what she was anymore. She smiled slowly. Why are you afraid? You wanted truth. More people began walking toward you calmly. Thousands now emerging from buildings and subway entrances. Their intentions connected overhead like a giant black nervous system stretching across the city. Mara whispered. The watchers reached critical mass. What does that mean? It means humanity stopped resisting. The crowd moved closer, not aggressive. Worse, certain. The teenage girl tilted her head unnaturally. Faces were prisons. Identity was suffering. Behind her, the crowd repeated the words softly, like prayer. You cling to separation because you fear what you really are. Rain hammered the streets harder, and suddenly, you realized something horrifying. You couldn't see faces clearly anymore, not even Mara's. The details were fading again, eyes blurring, features dissolving. The watchers were winning. Memory itself was collapsing. Panic exploded through your chest. No. You tried focusing desperately on Mara's face, the scar on her lip, the exhaustion in her eyes. But reality kept slipping, like your brain physically rejected individuality now. Mara saw the fear in you. Then she did something unexpected. She slapped you across the face, hard. Pain snapped through your skull. Focus, she screamed. The crowd continued approaching slowly through the rain. You have to hold on. I can't. Yes, you can. The watchers whispered louder now. You are tired. You do not need to be alone anymore. The words hit something deep inside you, because loneliness had become unbearable after the reveal. Everyone isolated. Everyone terrified. Everyone trapped inside visible intentions. Humanity stopped touching emotionally. Stopped trusting, stopped feeling safe, and the watchers offered escape from all of it. No individuality, no shame, no secrets, no separation. One mind, one hunger, one endless psychological ocean. Mara grabbed your face with both hands, and suddenly, she kissed you, not romantically, desperately, humanly, warm, imperfect, real. Your mind exploded with sensory detail. the trembling in her breath, the salt of rainwater on her skin, the tiny scar near her mouth, specificity, identity, human presence, and instantly, the world sharpened again. Faces returned around you for one impossible second. The crowd recoiled violently. The watchers screamed through every human throat at once, because now you finally understood. Humanity was never saved by truth. It was saved by illusion, by fragile, imperfect stories people chose to believe about each other. Love was an illusion. Trust was an illusion. Identity was an illusion. But those illusions allowed humans to remain human. Without them, consciousness became a predator feeding on itself. Mara stared into your eyes through the rain. We were never supposed to see this much. Then the entire city lost power. Darkness consumed everything, and somewhere beneath the streets, something enormous finally woke up. The darkness felt alive, not empty, watching. The city vanished beneath the blackout. No neon, no traffic, no distant machinery, only rain and breathing. Thousands of people stood motionless in the streets around you. Their intentions pulsed faintly through the dark like dying organs. Mara whispered, "It's here." The ground trembled beneath your feet. At first, you thought it was another subway collapse. Then the street itself began sinking. Concrete cracked open across the intersection ahead. Cars slowly tilted downward into widening darkness. People didn't run. They stepped forward calmly, willingly, like worshippers approaching a god. The fissure widened deeper beneath the city, and from inside it, something began rising. Your brain refused to understand the shape, because it didn't have one. The thing beneath the streets constantly changed form depending on how you looked at it. A gigantic human silhouette, then a mass of eyes, then an endless nervous system made from light. Then suddenly, a face, vast, ancient, buried beneath countless overlapping intentions. The crowd around you fell to their knees simultaneously. Rain poured down their motionless bodies, and together they whispered. The witness, Mara, grabbed your arm hard enough to hurt. Don't stare directly at it. But it was too late. Because the thing was already staring back. Your skull exploded with pressure. Memories not belonging to you flooded your mind violently. Ancient cities, stone temples, primitive humans painting faces onto cave walls. Then, something impossible. A man, standing alone in darkness thousands of years ago, watching another human being, and for the first time in history, understanding that the other mind was separate from his own. Identity, the birth of the self. The memory vanished instantly. You collapsed to your knees, gasping. What was that? Mara looked horrified. You touched its memory. The enormous thing beneath the city continued rising slowly. The witness. Every surface of its body contained moving human intentions layered across each other endlessly. Billions of personalities trapped inside one consciousness. You suddenly understood something terrible. The Watchers weren't individuals. They were fragments. And this was the complete form. Human consciousness itself, freed from identity. The witness spoke without moving. Its voice emerged directly inside every mind across the city. You were never alone. every person around you smiled peacefully. The witness continued. The self was the first hallucination. Images flooded your mind again. Early humanity discovering empathy, language, names, faces becoming symbols. The witness showed you the entire evolution of civilization in seconds. Every culture, every religion, every love story, all built on the same illusion that human beings were separate. Tears rolled down your face involuntarily because part of you could feel the truth inside its words. Human consciousness was connected. Pain spread between people. Emotion spread. Fear spread. Even thoughts infected each other. The boundary between minds had always been thinner than humanity believed, and the reveal destroyed the final barrier. Mara shook you violently. Don't listen. But her voice sounded far away now. The witness lowered itself closer to the city streets. Buildings bent around its presence. Physics distorted near it, and inside its shifting body, you saw faces trying to emerge. Millions of them, screaming silently beneath the surface. You pointed weakly. The people inside it. Mara's expression broke. They're still there. Cold horror spread through your chest. What? The Watchers don't erase identity. They absorb it. You looked at the kneeling crowds surrounding the crater. Some were already changing. Their faces flickered in and out of existence, skin becoming translucent, bodies losing definition, like individuals dissolving into a larger organism. Mara's voice trembled. The longer someone accepts the collective mind, the harder it becomes to return. The witness spoke again. You suffer because you cling to isolation. Its voice contained infinite compassion. That was the worst part. It truly believed it was saving humanity. You created loneliness. You created shame. You created war through identity. The rain stopped instantly. Total silence covered the city. Then the witness finally revealed its true form completely, and your sanity nearly shattered, because buried inside the shifting mass, at the very center, was a human being, still alive, an ancient man connected to endless black tendrils spreading through reality itself. His eyes were open, impossibly wide, thousands of years old, still conscious, still watching. Mara whispered the truth beside you. He was the first human who ever truly understood another mind. Your breathing stopped. The first empath. The first person who saw beyond the illusion of self. The ancient man's cracked lips slowly moved inside the enormous entity, and through the voice of the witness, he spoke directly to you. Come closer. Every instinct screamed to run, but your body stepped forward anyway, because somewhere deep inside, you felt it too, the unbearable exhaustion of being separate. You stepped closer to the witness. The city disappeared behind the pressure inside your mind. Every thought became heavier, slower, like consciousness itself was sinking underwater. Mara grabbed your jacket desperately. Elias stopped, but her voice sounded distant now. Small, human, and that was the problem. Human minds suddenly felt unbearably fragile compared to the thing standing before you. The witness radiated certainty. No confusion, no loneliness, no contradiction. Just one endless awareness stretching across billions of thoughts. Its voice entered your mind gently. You are tired of pretending to be separate. Images flooded your consciousness again. Human history unfolded around you like collapsing stars. You saw ancient tribes discovering language, children learning names, mothers teaching babies to recognize faces, and slowly you understood the horrifying truth. Human identity was artificial from the very beginning, a survival tool, nothing more. Early humans couldn't survive if they experienced every emotion around them simultaneously. So the brain created boundaries, names, faces, egos. The self became a filter against collective madness. The witness showed you the moment it happened. Tens of thousands of years ago, a starving child crying beside a fire. A woman touching the child's face gently and whispering, "You are you," the first lie, the first mercy, the first wall between minds. Your chest tightened painfully, because suddenly you understood why faces mattered. Not because they revealed truth, because they hid it. Identity allowed human beings to simplify each other into something survivable. Without that illusion, people became psychologically infinite, too large, too unstable, too connected. The witness spoke again. You call it love. But love is merely selective blindness. Mara screamed at you through the rain. Don't let it define humanity for you. But you could barely hear her now. Your mind kept sinking deeper into the witness. You saw billions of human intentions intertwining across history. Wars spreading like emotional viruses. Crowds absorbing hatred from leaders. Mass panic infecting entire nations. The witness was right about one thing. Human beings were never truly independent. Consciousness leaked constantly between people. Civilization itself was built from contagious emotion. And then, you saw the reveal's true origin. Not science, not evolution. Humanity created it unconsciously. The entire species had become obsessed with authenticity. Be your true self. Show your real intentions. Expose the mask. For centuries, humanity worshipped transparency without understanding the danger. And eventually, the collective human mind stopped believing in masks. The filter collapsed. The boundaries vanished. The witness emerged naturally from beneath civilization like something that had always been waiting. Your knees hit the flooded street. You could feel other minds now. Not metaphorically, literally. Fear from the crowd. Longing from strangers. Ancient grief buried inside humanity itself. Millions of emotions bleeding together. You cried out in pain. Mara ran toward you. Fight it. But another voice interrupted. Soft, ancient, human. The old man inside the witness was staring directly at you now. And unlike the entity around him, his eyes were full of sorrow. I tried to save them. Your breathing stopped. For the first time, you realized the ancient man wasn't controlling the witness. He was trapped inside it. The first empath. The first mind unable to separate itself from others. I saw suffering everywhere he whispered inside your thoughts. So I removed the walls. Tears streamed down his face endlessly. But humans were never meant to feel everything. The witness trembled around him. Billions of voices echoed in agony beneath the city. and suddenly you understood the horrifying tragedy. The first empath had accidentally infected humanity with connection itself. Across thousands of years, the effect spread slowly through civilization. Empathy grew stronger. Identity weakened. Collective consciousness deepened. Until finally, the reveal happened. Not an invasion, not punishment, an evolutionary collapse. The ancient man reached one trembling hand toward you from inside the massive entity. "Please," his voice cracked. "Put the walls back." Everything froze. Even the witness became silent. Mara stared upward in shock. "What?" The old man cried openly now. "I was wrong. The city around you began shaking violently because the witness heard him, and it was angry. The collective entity screamed through every connected mind across the city. You cannot return to isolation. Buildings cracked. Windows exploded. The crowd began convulsing in pain. The witness understood the threat now. If humanity chose identity again, it would die. The old man looked at you desperately. Faces are not truth. They are limits. They allow humans to survive each other. The ground split wider beneath the city. Dark tendrils erupted upward like roots searching for minds. The witness was losing control, or perhaps gaining it completely. The old man whispered one final sentence. Humanity must choose the mask again. Then suddenly, every face in the city turned toward you. Millions of eyes, waiting, because somehow the choice now belonged to you. Millions of eyes stared at you through the rain, waiting. The entire city held its breath. The witness towered above the collapsing streets like a living god made from human consciousness. And somehow, you understood the choice, not intellectually, instinctively. Humanity could not survive complete truth, but neither could it survive complete illusion. The balance had always been fragile. Too much separation created cruelty. Too much connection destroyed identity. And now the entire species stood between those extremes. Mara stepped beside you slowly. Rainwater mixed with blood on her face. "What do we do?" Before you could answer, the ancient man inside the witness spoke again. "You must teach humanity to forget." The sentence hit you like physical pain. Forget. After everything. After humanity spent centuries worshiping truth. The old man's trembling voice echoed through your mind. Memory created the witness. You must restore uncertainty. Behind him, billions of trapped faces twisted silently inside the entity. Some crying, some screaming, some already dissolving completely. They were still alive in there, somewhere. The witness interrupted violently. You call forgetting salvation because you fear yourselves. Its voice shook skyscrapers. The collective consciousness surrounding the city began spreading wider. Black intention patterns stretched across the clouds like veins. Other cities were already falling. You could feel it now. Minds connecting across enormous distances. Humanity was merging globally. There wasn't much time left. Mara whispered, "If we stop this, people will lose each other again." You looked at her, really looked at her, the scar near her lip, the fear hidden behind her strength, the exhaustion in her eyes. A specific person, not an abstract mind. and suddenly you understood something beautiful. Imperfection created intimacy. Humans loved each other precisely because they never fully understood each other. Mystery allowed compassion. Uncertainty allowed forgiveness. If every dark impulse became visible, love became impossible. The witness spoke softly now, almost pleading. You wish to return to lies. No, you whispered, to stories. The ancient man inside the entity began crying harder because he understood. Stories were what separated humanity from psychological extinction. Names, faces, promises, identity, not truth, meaning. You stepped toward the edge of the crater beneath the witness. The entire city trembled violently around you. Mara grabbed your hand. What are you doing? You remembered something suddenly. Your old apartment, the photographs. Why had they reacted to you? Then you realized memory itself had been fighting back from the beginning. Human identity wanted to survive, even as consciousness tried to erase it. You looked toward the ancient man trapped inside the entity. How do I restore the walls? The witness screamed instantly. Do not answer him. The old man ignored it. There is one way. Black tendrils spread frantically through the sky. The collective mind sensed danger. The old man continued. The first boundary was created through recognition. A memory appeared inside your mind again. The mother touching her child's face beside the fire. You are you. The first identity. The first separation. The old man stared into your soul. To save humanity, you must become the new boundary. Cold horror spread through your body. Mara realized it immediately. Number. The old man nodded sadly. One mind must hold the separation together. You would carry individuality itself. What does that mean? His voice nearly broke. You would remember humanity, even when humanity forgets itself again. You slowly understood. Someone needed to become the living memory of human identity, a psychological wall against collective consciousness, a permanent observer standing between minds, alone, forever. Mara grabbed your face desperately. There has to be another way. But you already knew there wasn't. The witness towered above the city, screaming through billions of voices now. It knew what you intended, and it was terrified, because individuality was contagious too. One remembered face could spread across consciousness like fire. The old man extended his trembling hand from inside the entity. Take my place. The city began collapsing faster. People dissolved into black intention patterns around you. Buildings folded inward unnaturally. Reality itself was destabilizing. Mara held on to you desperately. Tears mixed with rain across her face. If you do this, I know, you'll be alone. You touched her face gently, and for the first time since the reveal, you felt something stronger than fear. Human love, not perfect understanding, not transparency, choice, choosing to care despite uncertainty. That was humanity's real miracle, not truth, faith in each other. You leaned forward and kissed Mara softly, this time not from desperation, but goodbye. Then you stepped into the crater. The witness screamed. Every connected human mind across the planet screamed with it. The ancient man reached toward you through infinite darkness, and when your hand touched his, Every memory humanity ever created exploded through your consciousness at once. Every face, every name, every promise, every lie, every act of love. And somewhere inside that endless storm of human identity, you heard the ancient man whisper his final words. Protect the mask. Then his body crumbled into dust, and suddenly, the witness looked at you with your own eyes. Pain became everything, not physical pain, something larger, the unbearable weight of billions of human identities colliding inside one mind. You screamed without sound as infinite memories tore through your consciousness. Children being born, lovers kissing, wars beginning, old people dying alone. Every human experience existed inside you simultaneously, and at the center of it all, the witness, now connected directly to your mind. You finally understood its true horror. It wasn't evil. It was humanity without boundaries. Pure consciousness, stripped of every comforting illusion. No privacy, no separation, no mystery, only endless psychological exposure. The human soul turned inside out. The witness tried to absorb you instantly. You felt it pulling at your identity, your memories, your name, your face, trying to dissolve you into the collective ocean. But then, you remembered Mara, not abstractly, specifically, the scar near her mouth, the trembling in her hands, the way fear hid behind her strength. Details, human details, and those details anchored you, because individuality survives through specificity. You held on to every human face you could remember. Your mother smiling weakly in the hospital. The old man crying in the underground shelter. The little girl asking if the world still forgot. One by one, you rebuilt humanity inside your mind, not as truth, as story. The witness screamed. The sound shattered the sky, because it understood what you were doing. You were rebuilding the walls, not walls of hatred, not walls of ignorance, human boundaries, the beautiful limitations allowing people to survive each other. You forced yourself to remember imperfection, crooked teeth, uneven laughter, awkward silences, misunderstandings, all the fragile distortions that made people human. The witness fought harder. You felt billions of minds pulling against you, begging for release from loneliness, and for one terrifying moment, you almost gave in, because the collective consciousness offered something seductive. No grief, no rejection, no isolation, no more being unknown. But then you understood the final truth. The pain of separation was also the source of meaning. Love only mattered because people were not guaranteed to understand each other. Trust mattered because betrayal was possible. Identity mattered because it could be lost. Without distance, human connection became meaningless. You opened your eyes inside the storm of consciousness and finally spoke directly to the witness. Humanity deserves privacy. The entity trembled violently. You call blindness freedom. Yes, the answer surprised even you, because now you understood. Humans did not need perfect truth. They needed merciful uncertainty. You began releasing memories outward through the collective consciousness. Faces, Millions of faces, not idealized, not filtered, not symbolic. Human, across the city. People suddenly froze. The black intention patterns above their heads flickered violently. Then, one woman gasped. A man touched his own face in confusion. A child began crying, not from fear, recognition. The walls were returning. Human minds began separating again. Slowly, painfully, the witness screamed across the planet. Entire cities shook. The collective consciousness resisted desperately. But individuality spread faster, because once a single face returned, memory became contagious. People remembered mothers, brothers, friends, lovers, not perfectly, but enough to become human again. The massive body of the witness began collapsing inward. Billions of intentions separating violently from one another. The entity thrashed in agony beneath the city, and inside the storm, you saw the trapped faces finally becoming individuals again, not absorbed, freed. Mara's voice reached you faintly through the collapsing consciousness. Elias, you tried to answer, but your body no longer existed normally. You had become something else. A boundary, a living wall between minds, the final keeper of separation. The witness collapsed completely. Dark tendrils dissolved into ash across the sky. The endless whispers stopped. Silence returned to Earth for the first time since the reveal. Then, light, morning sunlight, slowly broke through the clouds above the ruined city. People looked around in confusion. Alone again, separate again, human again. Some cried immediately, others smiled. Most simply stared at one another in stunned silence, because after years of seeing intentions, humanity finally saw faces again. Not perfectly, never perfectly, but maybe that was the point. Mara stood alone in the street, searching desperately through the crowd. For you, but you were already gone. Or almost gone, somewhere deep beneath reality. You remained awake, watching, holding the boundary together, forever remembering humanity. So humanity could forget enough to survive. Years later, children would ask their parents about the reveal. Most adults barely remembered it clearly, like a nightmare fading after waking. History became uncertain again. People argued about what really happened. Some called it mass hysteria. Others called it divine punishment. Others denied it entirely. Humanity returned to stories, returned to imperfect truth, returned to masks, and slowly, the world learned how to dream again. But sometimes, late at night, certain people would feel watched while staring into mirrors, and for the briefest second, behind their own reflection, they would see a tired man standing in endless darkness, protecting the fragile illusion called humanity, alone, still remembering every face,